right, guys. So we got another prop out here in the lawn. I put the cage out here, and then our little guy Shorty here. This is right next to the kissing booth here. And what we're gonna do is on Halloween night we're gonna put in our Cerebus, which is like the three-headed dog. I have to show you guys what it is so you can see it. But it's an animatronic. It moves around. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have like a leg or arm in his hand, like he's feeding them, and probably gonna throw like just bones all over the ground, like that's what they ate. But in the meantime, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a skeleton in here so that it just has something in here for now. All right, guys, one quick update that we did do today is we're not going to put the Cerebus out here because we don't want to get it damaged before Halloween, so we're probably not going to put that out here until Halloween night. But we did end up putting the skeleton in the cage here, and I put this clown wig I had left over on him, and probably going to go get at the dollar store. They have like these little handcuff things, and I put them on his hands there. But we're just going to do that for now until trick or treat. But I think it looks kind of cool, like he's being punished or got put into the cage here. So we're going to do that for now until we get the Cerebus out here. Alright, guys, so we got another one of our clown props out tonight. This guy's actually going to be associated with the electric chair. So what we're going to do is I'm probably going to set up that sign that you saw probably in my first video called Shockingly Fun somewhere in here. And then I'm thinking about putting a piece of wood on there and getting one of those breaker boxes that like goes crazy and shows like he's being electrocuted. And then on trick or treat night we'll put the electric chair out here with the guy on it and almost make it look like this guy's the one that's flipping the switch on the electric chair. Another thing that I got done this week is this box here was actually gifted to us by Vanessa's boss. And what I ended up doing is I built a stand for it, and this is actually going to go into the ground next to the electric chair. And what I did is I had some leftover fog piping here, just plastic fog piping from one of our various animatronics. And what I did is I took these pieces here and put them into here, and then I put just brackets on there to keep everything in place. And what's really cool is that when this goes on, which you can flip it on, it shocks and does all these crazy things. It makes the electric noise. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this next to the electric chair, have this going off, and the electric chair going off on trick or treat night. But I think for now, it's kind of crappy out today. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this next to the clown I have out there, and turn this off. I'll put this next to the clown out there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this pipe in his hand like he's holding it and like he's getting like electrocuted. And I also have the it's turned around, but here is that Shockingly Fun sign. So I got another thing done this week I'm pretty happy with. I think this thing came out really cool. I do have a piece of PVC behind this to slide it into the ground with some rebar. The only thing I've left to do is just paint the back, but that's another thing that I did. All right, guys, another thing that we ended up doing is this fine gentleman here is Mr. Toots, actually Vanessa's favorite. We made a little track for him that we're going to put out in the driveway. Basically, it's just a piece of 5mm plywood. I painted it to look like checkers, and I put this little 2x2 frame around it so he can stay. But yeah, we're going to have him in the driveway. He just bounces around and talks. He sounds just like Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses. We always thought he was cool. Alright, so I want to try something, and I don't know how this is going to work out, but I want to give it a shot. I want to see what happens. So this is one of our corpse skeletons we did last year, and I think he looks awesome. But what I want to do is, using this Loctite foam, I want to see if I can make him look like he has innards and things like that. So I'm gonna try that and see if I can make that happen. All right, so I feel like I'm doing an autopsy, but what I did was I took an X-Acto knife and just cut this open here, the old plastic that I had, and I'm going to start putting the foam into the rib cage area here, all up in the chest and down the spine here, and just see what it does. Again, I did spray water on here again, and then what happens is when I put the foam in, as soon as I put the foam in, I'm going to spray the water on there again to kind of get it to start to dry immediately, so it doesn't keep expanding and expanding and expanding and just become an absolute mess. So I have, I think, half a bottle of foam. If this works out, I'm gonna have to go out and get some more. All right, guys, so I put the Loctite foam all over the body, and I kind of started to sculpt it. And like, for instance, in here, like in the stomach area, I try to make it look like intestines. So now what I'm doing is the foam is starting to harden up. So there really isn't much more that I can do unless I go get more foam. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting my first layer of color on it, and I'm putting on a pink. So the bottom layer is going to be pink, and then I'm going to put on like maybe some different shades of red and finish it all off with Scarecrow's blood paint. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. All right, so the next color that I used is called Crimson, and it's kind of like a paler red. Unfortunately, I'm kind of running out of it, so I'm going to have to probably go straight to the bright red next. But I'm starting to like the effect. Like I said, I think I'm going to probably have to tweak some things here, but overall I think it looks pretty disgusting, and yeah, not bad. Keep going. Alright, so I'm going to apologize for the lighting in here. It's really bright, but anyway, what I did was I went through and with multiple pinks and reds and everything, I got this guy looking like Vanessa called him, kind of meaty. And then what I ended up doing was I ended up just drizzling all over him the blood paint that we get from Scarecrows. So what I'm hoping for is, and the way that this paint dries is, the blood paint should dry like darker and glossier than the rest of this. So hopefully what will end up happening is you'll have like the pinks and the reds of the acrylic paint, and then on top of that you'll see like the darker blood paint kind of shooting through. So that's kind of what I am envisioning. Hopefully we'll see what happens tomorrow. Alright guys, so when I came out today to check on my my prop here, I really wasn't happy with it at all. I just missed too much of the there was just too much white foam still showing. So what I decided to do was I took the red spray paint that I had, and I just went over this entire body with the red spray paint. And this is where I made my mistake. Instead of starting with the pink and then going to and working up to a red, I should have started with a red and then backed it back down. So what I ended up doing was I took the red spray paint, and then what I did was I ended up dry brushing on, you can see it here, some white and I had some pink left, some white and pink. So you can kind of get underneath there's the red, and then it gently goes to the pink and the white, which would make sense. So that's what I did here to get to bring out more of the texture. I actually think it looks pretty decent. Is it a Distortions Unlimited prop? Hell no. But it's not too bad for my first time trying it. I do like the insides here. It does look like intestines, kind of going around and stuff. So I kind of like it. So I think what I'm going to do is, for some reason the blood paint did not dry last night. So I'm going to attempt to do the blood paint again today. And what I might end up doing is very gently heating it with a heat gun, because I know that you're not supposed to heat the foam with the heat gun. So I'm going to very, very gently try to dry the blood paint a little bit quick. Alright guys, so I went back over this body here with the blood paint from Scarecrows, and this stuff is really good, by the way. And what it does is it will dry on here. Hopefully you can see this, but it dries on here really dark and glossy, and it almost gives this guy a wet look. I really dumped some into the eye sockets too to really give it a wet look. And what I did was I just kind of went over the body and kind of put bigger puddles of it, and then use the heat gun to dry it so that it will... Now this still is going to have to dry some more, but I kind of try to speed up the process, so this will really pop out and make it look glossy and kind of, like a sticky body. I did put some inside here, this area here, where it would be the intestines, but I really do like the dry brushing I did on here, and I don't want to lose that by just dumping all the blood on there. So I kind of just put it in some random places here and there. So I really like the way this looks. This looks really gnarly. Vanessa said last night it reminded her of in the movie The Predator, which is one of our favorite movies, General Hopper's men, when they first find them in the jungle, how they were all like basically skinned alive. So I think this guy looks really cool, and I think I'm going to, I think I'm probably going to call it quits here. I really don't want to mess this up. I like the way it looks. I'll probably go over this some more with the heat gun, just to kind of, dry as much as I can of the blood paint, and I'm probably going to stop here. So the plan for this guy is, in this section of the yard here is where we're going to have our Carnevil catering. I was thinking about laying this guy out, just like he is right now on that table, somewhere right here along the driveway, so that as the kids come up the driveway to get to the candy and the ticket booth, he'll be like right there, and they'll get to see how disgusting and gross he'll look. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We also toyed around with the notion of maybe having our guy Leatherface make an appearance in the Carnevil. I don't know if he would be as Leatherface, or maybe we would put another mask on him but use his body, and maybe we would have him where like he's putting the chainsaw into the guy and kind of like chopping this guy up. But anyway, that's kind of like some of our potential plans with this guy. All right, guys, so real quick, I did put out today this shockingly fun sign, and I did put out the electric box here, and I do have the cord in the guy's hands here. So this is kind of set up for now, and then like I mentioned before, Halloween night we're gonna have the electric chair here. So this scene is kind of set up for now. I did get something else done too. I'll show you that in a second. I got the Carnevil catering booth up. So we haven't put the clown out yet. We'll probably do that maybe tomorrow. We had a lot of rain here the last 2 days, and I think it's going to be pretty nice and sunny the next couple of days. So we'll probably get the clown out here. Not sure what else we're going to put out here yet. The skinned guy that I showed you, I don't know if I'm going to put him out for till Halloween night or closer to. So it might just be this guy and the fat clown that you saw way earlier in some of my previous videos. Might get him out here, but for now, that's at least got this up, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll get a clown in there.